talk about stress today and how to manage the stress, especially with the pandemic that we're going through. Talk about what is stress and how to work with it. We're going to talk about the AAA approach, talk about the mindset and how it can help us. We're going to talk about the 5 motivation keys. And at the end, we're going to write to each one of us a love letter. So let me ask you a couple of questions. On a scale 1 to 10, can you rate your current stress level? What is your current stress level? And if you have an answer, I want each one of you to type on the chat their current. It's high. So give me a number. 1 is the low, 10 is very high.
Because we are in finance, we are maybe by end of the month or first 2 weeks from any big new month, there is a closing process to us and too many tasks within a limited time.
Too many tasks with a limited time. So can you do your closing before that day, or you need to do it in on that day?
Yes, it's with the specific number of days, no matter no matter what, you have to commit to your deadline. Or from my point of view, I don't like to exceed any deadline.
Okay. Well, we will talk about how you can help yourself to deal with that stress, not just for this month, and inshallah for every month coming in the future. And anybody else would like to share their reason of why they're highly stressed? Okay.
Yes, hello.
Yes. Amjad, yes.
Yes, good to hear you all. The reason I think why I'm stressed, especially when I hear the news, it's the fact I start to get a little bit stressed because of the news, because how media is trying to capture the images, the wording for this pandemic, and trying to let us know what is we should act and what is the world is acting, this kind of stuff. And also during Ramadan, the working hours is a little bit less than the usual, so we feel like a little bit hand-tied because we don't have the amount to do what we usually does. Maybe before Ramadan I didn't feel that much stress as much as right now regarding work only related stuff, but family and personal wise, it's more when it comes to TVs, news, reading, especially like now with the social media, the social news people, you get a little bit lost. Was it true? Is it not true? Is it reality? It's not. So kind of a little bit, the fact that we're far away, we don't feel it, but at the same time we have to be aware of the situation. Mm-hmm. Could be one of the reasons.
Okay, let me continue with you this question, and I wish everybody answered this question with themselves. So where would you like your stress level to be?
The normal one, 3.
Which is the normal for you?
For me, 3 too. It's normal to feel stressed every day. This is life. If I'm not stressed, that means I'm not doing something about my life. So I'm living like literally out of nothing. So I would say normal 2, 3.
Okay. And what are the major stresses in your life? Especially maybe now. What makes you stress?
Personally?
Mm-hmm.
The fact, the situation, what are we going through, the future, I don't like the unknown. For me, the unknown, not knowing the unknown is something a little bit out of my zone. Let's put it that way.
And what are you doing to manage that stress or reduce it?
For me, planning.
Okay. Planning.
Yeah.
Planning what? Your day, your work?
Yes, actually. especially right now. What should I do? What should I do? How long is going to take me to do this, especially with the curfew, with the lockout? How to manage my time in order to achieve what I want. Planning is the most important thing. Literally, I'm having, for my personal thing, table. I write it down every day. What should I do? What should I buy? What should I go out? What to do? Just because I want to catch up a few stuff before the end of the curfew hour, to manage the expectation for myself and my family.
So you're planning, you're time managing,
Yes.
your time. Okay. Thank you, Amjad. Thank you for sharing. If we're going to talk about stress and how to deal with stress, we need to understand what is stress. What is stress? What do you think is the definition of stress? There's a lot of definitions. If we Google it on Google, you'll find a lot of definition of stress. But I got you two definitions. The stress can be difficult to pin down, because it's a very individual thing. So the definition of it, it can be different between a person to another person. People, they define stress totally different. Plus, it's an emotion thing. It's something we feel, something we go through. And this is what's happening now. Every one of us is going to a stress change. And one of the studies of Harvard says a person the stress level is like a curve. It starts very slow and it goes deeply down to a point where it can break you if you didn't control it, and then it goes back to normal. So this is how the curve of the stress. Now you're talking about again how stress. Give me something that can change me. Give me something that can take me away, and I'll tell you, yes, there is a simple solution. A simple solution called the AAA. AAA is a technique. It's a very simple technique called the AAA approach. Is adjust, avoid, and accept. So adjust, avoid, and accept. Those are the AAA. So each time you buy a battery, or ask for a battery, a AAA battery, not a AA battery, a AAA battery, remember this: adjust, avoid, and accept. Adjust the situation that you are in. Avoid the situations that you are in, and accept those situations. So adjust the situations. How do we adjust the situation, Abdurrahman? We can't adjust the coronavirus. We cannot adjust our working environment. We cannot adjust anything that we don't have control. So how we can adjust those things? Adjust them by looking at them in a different way. The second A, the avoid. Avoid the negative news. You have the power of avoiding. Amjad, you said that you're hearing the news, that you're looking at the news. Let me ask each one of you, how many times do you reach to your mobile or to your laptop or to your PC and check the news? How many times? How many times a day you check the news? Jad, how many times do you check the news about the coronavirus?
Countless. Even if I didn't check it, thank God for WhatsApp groups where everyone sent some sort of news. So yeah, all the time. It's impossible to count because now
it's everywhere.
Yes, everywhere. Even if you don't look, you try to avoid not to look away, you still see the news everywhere.
Try to find something that gives you a positive vibes. Look at the positive ways. Don't look at the negative. And if you saw the news, and some of you are going to talk, okay, Abdurrahman, well, sometimes, yes, we look at the news. We need to look at the news. Avoid looking at it in a negative way. Look at how many people who has been cured from that. Not the people who passed away, it's how many people who cured from those coronaviruses. The third AAA is accepting. Accept the situation. If you accept what you are in, then you can live with it. And this acceptance doesn't come that easy. You need to have the right mindset. With the right mindset, you can avoid, adjust, and accept the situations that you are in. And let me ask you a question. Have you heard about somebody called Nick Voyage? Do you know this person? Nick Voyage is a person who has been born without legs, without hands. Imagine a person without legs or hands, how his life will be. Miserable, stressful. So Nick Voyage tried to suicide himself a couple of times, but what happened that he sat with himself, he had the right mindset to avoid, adjust, and accept the reality that he is in. So what he did, he built the right mindset that took him from a person who was going to kill himself to a person who is a success. Nick Voyage, as Abdullah said, he wrote a lot of books. I read two of them, two great books talking about the mindset and self-motivations and how to become a better person. He wrote books. He is doing all kind of sports you can imagine. And there is a nice interview for Nick with Oprah. You can Google it and watch it. If we have the right mindset, our behaviors will be the right behaviors. And if we have the right mindset and the right behaviors, we will have the right results. So if you want to have a normal life, non-stressful life, this is the results, then you need to have the right behaviors that we talked about is the avoid, adjust, and accept. So those are the behaviors. And if you want those behaviors to be a habit in your life, then you need to have the right mindset to accept and avoid and adjust.